How's it going, guys? Ghost Caliber here, and I know it's been a while since I made a video, but stuff's coming out. I want to talk about them, and the stream for today is gonna be a little bit later, probably around like 8:30, mainly because at 5 I'm gonna be cooking. I'm actually gonna be cooking like an hour at the time of this recording, which right now I'm recording at like 3:42. So yeah, it's gonna be take me a little while. I'm cooking beef stew, and that takes a long time. Really, seriously, you want the meat to be good. Anyway. So, what I want to talk about is Modern Warfare 2. Now, we're getting more trailers and stuff for it, but we're not talking about that. What I want to talk about is how they're going to need to bring back Makarov for this story to be any good. Because Makarov was a good villain, and this is a fact right here. You need a good conflict if you want to have a good story. A good villain is, if a villain's going to be your conflict, that villain has to be good. It has to have good ideas. It has to have a good personality. It has to have, it has to be basically a good villain. It has to feel like a person that you're fighting with is also good enough to hate and want to kill, especially in the way of Modern Warfare. Now, you're looking at Modern Warfare 2019's villain, which was very bland, very stupid. It made the conflict not that good either. So, Makarov was a very good villain, had very good ideas, and he didn't do things for no reason. Everything he did had a purpose, and it didn't feel like he was doing it for no reason either. When you play Modern Warfare 2, and you're doing the No Russian mission, and you're just shooting up that airport, you know, after you get shot, and after that mission, why. All that stuff that just occurred, you now understand why it happened. He wanted to get Russia mad at America to start World War III. And you knew that was his goal. And it didn't. And now when you look back at what you just did, it wasn't for no reason. It was pretty much for this. But you look to Modern Warfare 2019. You have Wolf. I think it was Wolf. I definitely forgot his name because I haven't played that game in a while. You have him shoot a kid for virtually no reason. Like, dude, you've killed a kid for no reason. And he was like a basic terrorist with not like basic terrorist ideas. Now, you're probably wondering, a bad villain doesn't make or break a game, and it does. So now let's call the question a game series that is very near and dear to my heart, Borderlands. Now, show you Borderlands. This is a very good one. Borderlands 1 was weak on the story. It wasn't bad, but it was weak. The story had barely anything to do with the game. And you didn't really have a villain. If anything, I'd say this is more, instead of, if we put like player versus, it would be like character versus environment. Because your main villain in Borderlands 1 wasn't Commandant Steel. It wasn't anybody, really. Your main villain was Pandora itself. You were trying to open the vault, and the only thing standing against you was Pandora and its residents. And that's what made that really good, and you can go back to it today and still play it and have tons of fun, and the story's still cohesive and nice, because there wasn't a main villain. The villain was Pandora itself. And even though Commandant Steel was annoying, it really wasn't, she wasn't the villain. The world was, and the world was compelling, nice, amazing. Now let's look at the best Borderlands game, Borderlands 2, where, as I said before, whereas in Borderlands 1, the main villain was the world Pandora, we have a character that's the main villain, which, in my opinion, is the best villain in all of the gaming, in all of fiction, really, Handsome Jack, where Handsome Jack had his own personality, his own ideals. He was funny, he was charming, he was evil. And you knew his purpose From the very start of the game, from the moment you play the game, you understand what's going on. He hates bandits. He sees you as a bandit. And to some extent, you are. You are a bandit. And what he seeks is to rid Pandora of evil. And to everyone else, it's like, yeah, that's wrong, but is he in the wrong? And it's like that a lot of that stuff comes into question because you look around Pandora and everything's trying to kill you. You have vicious wildlife, bandits, like marauders, all these things that are out to kill you. And you've already know that this is like this since Borderlands 1. So when you really put it into question, is Handsome Jack really the bad guy? And that's what a very spectacular villain does. It makes you question things. And the gameplay also complemented it. It was really good. And then we go to Borderlands 3. And this is the part where I say a conflict, a villain makes or breaks it. Because we got an amazing villain. Handsome Jack. Good ideals. We understood everything. Even in pre-sequel, we understood his upbringing. How he wasn't always evil. He was a guy who genuinely wanted to see good happen. And after he was backstabbed by everybody, just cheated over and over again, he cracks and then turns evil because no one was ever true to Jack. Now we get a compelling character that we just love to see and love to hate. Now Borderlands 3 releases and amazing gameplay. Awesome. I'm gonna be honest, the gameplay is amazing. But the reason I don't go back to it is because they have such a big focus on story. And with the conflict being trash, because you fight the Calypso twins, they are so boring. They are not good characters. Everything about them, they're annoying. They show up way too much. Jack doesn't show up that much. And when he does, he doesn't overstay his welcome. These guys are right around the corner. They talk way too much about pointless stuff. They're like, oh well. We gotta open the Great Vault. Follow our cult. Follow, and I think it was follow, and obey, or some other stuff. But that was boring. Their ideals were boring. They wanted power and opening the vaults to spite their father. Which those, as a villain, aren't good morals, right? You don't really have morals there. You're just kind of a dickhead. Like, honestly, where you have Jack who wants to see the betterment of a whole planet. That's why he kills. That's why he does the things he does. These guys are they're trash. They're a-holes. Now, that there in their conflict, there's a lot of other things wrong with the story, but mainly the conflict made it and broke it. It broke the damn game. But that's something that I don't want to see happen with a Call of Duty game. The one thing I really want to see is a good Call of Duty game get released. Because we haven't had a good one, like a really, really good one, like across the board in a while. Cold War, you could say, oh yeah, it was a good Call of Duty game, campaign-wise. Multiplayer with the skill-based matchmaking is garbage, and I'm wondering what people will realize, that no one wants skill-based matchmaking. Protective brackets are not good. Because the only reason why someone should want skill-based matchmaking is if they're playing in a ranked playlist, which Call of Duty has. So again, we should not have skill-based matchmaking because it makes the game unfun. But whatever. Like I was saying, a good villain makes or breaks the story because of the conflict. Now back to Makarov. He was a good villain. Everything he did was to his main purpose of making civilization better. He saw World War III would strengthen civilization. And everything he did was to see his goal come to fruition. He kidnapped the Russian president. Why? To get the Russian launch codes. Why? To drop a nuke in an American city to get America mad at Russia. Okay. Makarov shoots up in a huge Russian airport. Why? Well, and kills a bunch of Russian officials. Why? To why? To get Russia mad. Like, oh, hold on, yeah. Get Russia mad at who? America. That's why they kill the American spy and leave his body there. Now Russia's mad at America. America's mad at Russia. World War III starts, and he got his goal. And he knew what he was doing was wrong. He understood that. And yet he's still an amazing villain. Hell, these old Call of Duty games, I play them for the campaign because they had good stories. Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Just amazing. And yet, what do we got now? Like, look, the only one that was actually good was Cold War. Their villain, Perseus, was decent. It's a wild goose chase, and then when we actually figured out that Perseus wasn't a person and it was a group, that was awesome. But it looks like this video is gonna get mad long. Also, I'm not sure when I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna do a stream, possibly with my stream later on, where I'm going to be playing these dice games, and yeah. So for normally I play zombies, but I'm gonna start trying to like branch out and play different games that you guys really wouldn't see me play that much, like Plants vs Zombies 2, which I have an emulator for, so I can play these mobile games on my computer. Yeah, so we're gonna be playing a bunch of mobile games and stuff. Nothing that would give me like a big competitive advantage because I'm not trying to get panned. So yeah, so pretty much games that wouldn't matter, like these dice games I got. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, If you did, please share and like the video. Share the video out. This is the best thing you can do for the channel. I'll see you all in the next one.